All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Street Level Strategies. We have another episode today, and today I'm joined by Shane Hofmann, mortgage consultant at Edina Realty Mortgage. How are you doing today, Shane?
I am great. No complaints on my end. How are you?
Me either. I'm doing well.
Good.
Well, I'm happy to have you here today, and I'd love for you to start off. Give us a quick intro to you and let us know kind of who you are.
Sure. Yeah. Well, Edina Realty Mortgage is based in Minnesota, and I'm born and raised in Minnesota, so that's a good fit. I currently live in Shakopee. Got a couple offices in Prior Lake and Shakopee. And my wife is a teacher in Richfield. I got a couple kids, 11 and 10. So this was, the start of school week this week. So everyone's happy to be back in a routine.
I know. I saw all the back to school pictures. I'm like,
yep.
Not today, but one day.
Right. I'm a sucker for those, man. I'm liking like every one of those,
I know,
it's just
right?
great.
You're like, oh, it's so cute. They have to sign up and all the fun stuff. Just telling about what their favorite, activity is and book and all that stuff. It's super cute.
For
Wow.
sure.
Well, that's awesome. You're in our backyard, so I'm also Minnesota. So we are friends and live right down the road. But super happy to have you on today. Thanks for giving a little bit of background to who you are. And I'm going to jump right in today's conversation. I would love to get your thoughts, especially right now where we are in the industry. I'd love to get your thoughts around like how are you looking at these next couple months? I hear a lot, reading a lot around, we're at the lowest applications we've been at in the last 28 years or something like that, right? We're at this place and people are forecasting it to be, a very slow, very dreary winter, no pun intended for Minnesotans, where it really actually is. But how are you looking at these next couple months? Like, what is your strategy as you're looking forward into these next couple months?
Yeah, I actually kind of take it as an opportunity. We're in a relationship business, and so my referral partners are my clients. Of course, we have the consumer, which is the person getting the loan, but really, we've always kind of thought that our clients are our agents. So my focus is, and you know what, they're freaking out too.
Yeah, right.
So you just got to love on them a little bit. I think one-on-one time is going to be really important. There is a little bit more time than, if it is slow, maybe they do have time for lunch, they have coffee or a brainstorm, session of how we can help each other, so, and that's what I feel is a true partnership. And that's when, you have partners in the business is, go in this together. What can we do together to generate some business? And not only that, but maybe we're just getting ready for spring, because I think they are hearing from so many people that, we're going to wait for rates to come down, or we're going to wait until the spring or whatever. They're already hearing that. Right. So, well, how can we be ready for that? How can we be prepared for that? So
you're looking at like in the downtime, I'm really hounding those relationships. I am trying to build those. I'm meeting with my referral partners. I'm strategizing for the spring. What are we going to do? And really looking towards that.
Yeah. And when I think of, we're an in-house lender, us personally, right? So I have the ability to be in an office with a bunch of agents. Well, my door should never be closed. Yeah. Especially if we're not that busy, right? So if they want to come knock on the door, let's sit down. We got time. Let's chat,
Yeah.
So, and that's a little bit of our advantage, of being an in-house lender is just that.
Yeah. So when you think about agents and your relationships that way, where does Total Expert kind of play a part within your agent referral partner business, right?
Yeah. Big, to be honest. And I know we're on a Total Expert call, but I mean, it's been
you don't need to hype us up that much.
No, I'm telling you, I mean, it's important. So to take you back a little bit, just to give you a little history, Edina Realty Mortgage is our CRM platform was not good. And I think everybody in our organization would not be remiss to say that, right? So like when I think about, a birthday or an anniversary or something, it was just me like putting it in my Outlook calendar on my own, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of this plug and play things that Total Expert has that we need as loan officers. We need help with that, right? We get busy. Those are the things that are going to fall off, right? So if in the past, if I had to put that in my Outlook and then I am swamped that day, guess what? That notification is probably getting dismissed or getting pushed down the road, right? And so some of these things that they have or that you guys have is phenomenal. And part of, like I said, as an in-house person, the co-marketing stuff is massive for us.
Yeah.
That's a huge differentiating factor for us, in my opinion, because really these agents have enough to do, right?
Yeah.
So if there's even this one or two things that we can help them with, why would we not do them? And why would we not be ahead of it? So for example, just like a financing flyer, right? So all these open houses that agents do, that's a lot of, especially new agents, that's how they kind of want to drive businesses through open houses. Well, if I get a list from our front desk of the open houses coming up this weekend, and we send out 20 or 25 different finance flowers for the open house, which shows that exact house, what a couple payment options look like, et cetera, and they didn't have to ask us for that. To me, that's some service, right?
It is. Yeah.
And when they are at an open house, what do they get asked? What's my payment going to look like on this? Right. Well, they got it, and that's a talking point for them. And we've helped them with that. Right. Yeah. And so that's a big one.
Yeah. So you're looking at providing like, what's an extra bit of service or value that I can add to my agents?
Yeah.
What does your strategy look like when it's getting agents in the platform? Obviously you guys, you have your agents that you work with pretty much daily. And, but what does that look like, getting your agents in the system to know and understand and use and see the value of Total Expert?
Yeah. I'll just be honest on this one. I make them come to me. You know, I don't give them a username and password. I don't want them to go in there on their own. That's just my selfish take on it.
Yeah.
I want that conversation. I want them to know what it is. I want to know what they want. And maybe I can find it. Maybe I can't, or maybe I can request it, but no, they got to be sitting across from me to get access to it. So,
and I assume your thought is like, hey, like if you got to be all in, like if you're in and you want me to do this for you, I'll do it. But you come to me and let you know that you want this. I want more.
Plus, I think I learn a little bit about their business too, if that's the case, like what they're looking for, what they potentially need, and a couple other things too is that, I have my own social media presence, so like a lot of the times what I'll do as well is we get a notification of any new listing, right?
Yep.
So we'll kind of put this new listing packet together, which is just like a single property website, a finance flyer, et cetera. And we'll send that to them. But I blast that to my LinkedIn and my Facebook, to my Twitter, whatever. And if that gets a set of eyes on it that it wouldn't, my goodness, it takes me 5 minutes to do that. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, it's us showing the agent that we are invested in their business. Right. It takes some time to put that stuff together, and but we want to help them sell their listing. Right. Because more than likely that person's going to have to go buy. So why not help them,
Yeah, for sure. So I like what you're saying. I like what you're saying, that you're making, not that making the agent come, but it's an interesting take, right? Like making sure that they're invested. And then when they are, you're like, hey, I'm going to be supporting you through and through. I will blast this out. I'll put the word out. I'll support you in any way that I can.
Yeah. I just think it looks impressive because let's say there's, 200 different flyers out there for them. Right. So like literally, what do you want? What are you looking for? Chances are we probably have it,
Yeah.
Or again, 100%. If we don't, hey, we've got a whole marketing team together. Let me strategize with somebody and try to get something in front of you,
Totally. Yeah. So. Yeah, no, that's great. Especially going into this, I think going into this season, are you thinking about that any differently, or is that something that's playing a part in your strategy over these next couple of months? Are you thinking about, okay, as you're talking about, I want to deepen these relationships. Are you thinking like, hey, I'm going to invest time in, getting that one-on-one time with my agents, showing them the platform? Does that play a part in that strategy?
100%. Yeah. To me, an excuse for someone to come do a one-on-one with me is the marketing side of it, and the co-marketing side. Right. And showing these exact things that I'm talking about. But even like once somebody, here's the other thing is what we used to do post-close was virtually nothing. Right.
Yeah.
And now with Total Expert, we have, 8 different touches the first year. Right.
Yep.
And it's a 5-year campaign or whatever. And the beauty of that is that it's co-branded. So every time an email is going out to someone, it has that agent's face on it. Right.
Yep.
So it's coming from the mortgage side of things, but they see us as a team, and maybe that leads to something. Yeah. If you have time for it, I have a success story with that really quick. So we send out these happy birthday emails, right? Just through Total Expert. And it was a past client of ours, and he replied back to just say, the timing of this is incredible because I just thought about this yesterday. I've been just contemplating putting my house on the market. I'm not sure what it's worth. I'm just not sure of really what to do. Right. And I'm like, well, I can't tell you what your house is worth, but your agent does. And you should contact him. Let's talk about next steps for that. Let's get you pre-approved. And within a couple of weeks, he had a house listed and we're looking at buying something else. And not to say that the agent wasn't in touch with them, but in this particular scenario, they had no idea they were looking at selling. Right. So think about how powerful that is as for an MC to be like, hey, real estate partner, here's a lead for you. They're ready to list.
100%. Yeah.
Because if there's one argument we get from agents is, oh my, I get leads from blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right? Well, what about all of our past clients that we have together? Right.
What about
So it was huge.
Awesome. That makes me smile, because the truth is, like, you would have never known. You would have never known that person was, you know what I mean? Like the timing, you call that coincidence, or you call that a whatever you want to call that. Right. But like that automatically came out, and you would have never known, but you had the opportunity then to connect with the agent and say, hey, I hear this. And the agent's like, wait, what? I had no idea.
Right.
And so you look like the superstar. That's like, hey, I'm keeping in touch. This will happen again and again if we do more business together. Right. And I'll let you know when I have that going on.
Yeah.
Wow. Exactly. That is super cool. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to end on that happy note there. That's wonderful. And I love that the ways that you're looking at these next couple months, and you're looking at this as an opportunity. And I think that's the way that, that's the best originators look at it that way, of like, hey, this is an opportunity to dig in.
Well, I've been in the business for 19 years. Wow. It's never just been a flat line, right? We're not in the business for that. So, you can't look at the downtime as a negative. You got to look at it the opposite way. Just think of it as an opportunity.
Yeah. So. And investing in your referral partners, or investing in the relationships that are going to bring you money.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. Well, Shane, this was great. Thanks so much just for coming in and sharing your thoughts, the way you're looking at these next couple months and the winter season. And, it was awesome to hear just the ways you're leveraging the platform and seeing success and value. So really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thanks, Shane. Talk to you soon.
All right. See you. Bye-bye.